Time to bring in Economist Stephen Moore. Stephen, you're leading, or part of, I should say, the Tax Cut Victory Alliance, along with Steve Forbes, Art Laffer, and a number of business leaders as well. What's the plan to make the tax cuts permanent? This is vital. And how much do we have to worry about the Republicans caving and allowing taxes to go up on higher income earners?
Well, let's start with the fact that if we don't get this done, and if it doesn't happen by the end of the year, that the average family in the United States is going to face a $2,500 to $3,000 tax increase. I'm kind of sick and tired of these Democrats saying, oh, this is a tax cut for the rich. No, the average family in America is going to face a huge tax increase if this does not get done. I don't understand why any Republican would want to raise tax rates. The whole idea is to lower the tax rates and broaden the base so everybody pays their fair share and we have a pro-growth system. We should have learned that lesson under Ronald Reagan when he cut taxes and revived the economy. We should have learned it when Trump took over in 2017, and his tax cut was an enormous success. I mean, let's not forget, if it hadn't been for COVID, we would have seen Trump with a 40-state re-election landslide. The economy was doing so well. So this has been a very successful program. Our agenda at the Tax Cut Victory Alliance is very simple. Not only do we need to get this done, but we need to get it done urgently. I'm frustrated with the Senate that they're taking so long to get this done. This should have probably been done in the first 100 days, because every day it doesn't get done, Stuart, your friends on Wall Street and the investor community gets more and more nervous about whether this will happen at all.
They're not my friends on Wall Street by any means at all, but let me move on. Let me move on. The latest on tariffs. They go into effect Wednesday. Yes. Peter Navarro says we're going to raise $100 billion with the auto tariffs, and other tariffs bring in $600 billion a year. He estimates $6 trillion over a 10-year period. Steve, some of that money, if you're talking that amount of money, some of it has to be passed on to consumers, doesn't it?
Oh, sure it does. Look, I'm not an apologist for the Trump tariffs. I don't like them. You know that, and President Trump knows I don't like them too much either. But I've got to say this. In fact, I was just working on a column for Fox Business News on this very subject. I think that there is a kind of overreaction on Wall Street to these tariffs. And it is true, tariffs are taxes and they have a negative impact. But Stuart, put that in the context of everything else Donald Trump is doing. So I just did the numbers. We're going to save $1 trillion a year from what DOGE is doing, $1 trillion a year. We're going to do one of the biggest tax cuts in American history. That is going to happen. We're looking at, huge savings in the energy sector where we could produce $500 billion more energy. And there was a front page story in the Wall Street Journal this weekend saying that Donald Trump has the most aggressive anti-regulation policy of any president in modern times. And they estimate that that's another $1 trillion in savings. So what I'm saying is if you add up all the savings and the efficiency gains to the economy from everything else Trump is doing, they swamp the effect of these tariffs. I do think that Wall Street is kind of having a hissy fit about these tariffs, and they're taking off their eye off the ball, that everything else Trump is doing is extraordinarily pro-growth and pro-investor.
Real fast, Goldman Sachs just lifted their probability of a recession to 35% in the next 12 months. Morgan Stanley's at 40%. What do you see? A recession anywhere on the horizon?
Well, we're probably going to be a little bit down in the first quarter, but, maybe only negative 1%. That's the residue of Bidenomics. I do think in the second quarter we're not going to go negative. I think we're going to go positive. I think people are going to see exactly what I just said, that there's all of this liberated capital that's going to happen because of Trump's other reforms. So no, I do not see a recession on Donald Trump's watch.
All right, you take the positive side. Why not? Stephen, thanks very much for being with us. We'll see you again real soon.